has a history of that. And Shaq, he's starting to have one now. He's been like
Yeah, he been one. Just think about JaVale McGee shacking a
all the
fool,
time.
bro. He always messing with somebody.
Like him and Barkley argue all the time, and Shaq just bring up how many rings you got. How many rings you got? I got 4. So
yeah, Kenny do it all the time too.
Shaq is a crybaby. So if you don't listen to what he says, he's gonna start throwing out Google me. I got 4 rings. You bum? You're a bum.
Yeah.
Like that's Shaq. Like you say something that he doesn't agree with, he's gonna start whining.
Just like
that's how he is. Just like when he played with Penny Hardaway. Penny Hardaway was getting more of the pull, so he's talking about I'm leaving.
And he regretted it so far. Because everywhere he went, he ran into a 2-guard that was like that. He went into Kobe. He ran into D Wade.
He gets mad.
Okay, now I get it. You mad about Penny? Okay.
It's true.
I'm not mad about Penny. I'm just saying that's how Shaq is. Like that's how he always been. He gets into the Kobe, he wants to leave. He gets like he not getting what he wants to leave. You don't respect him, Google him. I got 4 rings.
That's a proven track record on that.
He could have had more rings. He could have had more rings if Kobe would have passed the ball.
Yeah. It was both of them fault. Like Shaq shot 70% versus the Pistons. How the hell do you
29 points in the first half and didn't get no shots in the second half.
Is shooting 30% and won't pass the ball.
Yeah,
Larry Brown figured that out. Oh, he wants to find an MVP. Let's triple team him. He's not going to pass the ball. Let's leave Shaq 1-on-1. Who cares if he shoots 70%? He's not going to pass him the ball anyway. And that's
he had 29 points. He had 29 points in the first half of Game 4, which could have tied the series. And he didn't shoot in the second half. Kobe kept shooting it, and then they was just like, "Fuck it, we'll give it to y'all in Game 5."
Yeah.
But all right, so let's switch the subject because we own that right now. So, are the current NBA players too soft? Now, get by soft means sensitive, right? So we know the comments, so make sure we switch the ticket, B-Lee. But we know that players like KD have created burner Twitter accounts to go at people who's criticized him. We got, so many instances of players who, kind of like Paul George. Paul George having a mental breakdown and all these other things. Your edge as any professional athlete is your mental fortitude. I would say that, one thing I've seen, and I'll give this Jim that I've noticed because I had to sit back and say, like, okay, what makes Mike? What makes Kobe? What makes LeBron? What makes Tom Brady, Floyd, and Serena like the just the outliers? What I've noticed is they have a undisturbable patience. When most people would panic and get off course, they can do repeatedly over and over the thing that needs to be done and trust in the end game, right? Like nobody ever was able to knock out Floyd because Floyd would never take a risk. Tom Brady's playing in his 10th Super Bowl because Tom Brady will not take a risk. He won't just take those shots. LeBron is going to play in his 11th finals this year. Yeah, I said it, because he's going to consistently make the correct play and trust that the game is going to come out the right way at the end. All right. I say all that to say, do the current players in the NBA have the mental fortitude to withstand criticism, or when things don't go well or go in their direction? What do you all think? Do you all think they're
Yes, they're soft. We know that, Alan. They are soft because
expound.
It ain't their fault though, man. It's not their fault. I'm not soft like as far as like they not tougher, they not physically stronger. I ain't talking about that soft. I'm just talking about as far as needing to be mentally stronger. They don't have to. Like they don't have to be mentally strong. Like I hear about so many mental weakness nowadays in the NBA that wouldn't even been allowed back in the day. Like if you was going through something like mental depression, that means you were probably just weak and pouting, and you was probably gonna get cut, you know what I'm saying, in a couple weeks because you couldn't get your head together. And they ain't realize it was just somebody going through real life depression. So I think it's good that they understand that folks that especially coming from low poverty areas are really going through something mentally and they're actually looking into that before they throwing these kids back into the street. You know what I'm saying? So I'm actually happy about that. But yeah, it's softer nowadays. We know this. The game is softer nowadays. You
What you
can't
got,
hand
Big
check
Lee?
anymore. You know what I'm saying? You can't put one or two hands on anyone. You can't guide somebody on defense. You can't even play back in the day. You gotta also remember, man, you couldn't play zone in the NBA.
Definitely couldn't.
It was illegal defense. You had to Ritzy have stick to your man. So it's different nowadays, bro. It is a little bit different as far as like it just the expectations is totally different. And to me, the expectations made the game a little softer. It made them have to mentally, it didn't necessarily make them have to even be mentally strong as we had to be mentally strong. So I mean, it ain't their fault, man. I don't take it nothing away from these players. I think they just born into this era, man. I do say one thing though. I noticed the transition when LeBron came in.
All right, go ahead, B. Lee. What you got? Because I can't rock with that one, Mark. But go ahead.
Okay, so the NBA player soft.
Not the last
Like-
comment.
Like, are y'all talking about like, because they're not letting you kick people in the air no more? Like, I don't like they're protecting their product. I don't understand how they're soft because the main reason why I don't enjoy some of the games because of the flopping, and the refs are the ones who's calling these fouls when they're not being fouled. But in the playoffs it's just different. They don't allow that. Like, some players can flop, but it's very rare because James Harden flops for free throws all game. He goes to the playoffs and he actually has to play basketball, so that's why he doesn't really come out with too many wins, because you're not able to act your way to the free throw line in the playoffs, and he struggles in the playoffs. So with the players being soft today, I don't buy into that. I just think that the defenses are more complicated today. There's not no one-on-one. Guard your man. That's all. So there's actually different strategies to limit people from just scoring easily. There's, James Harden scores a lot because he's a damn good offensive scorer. If he's one-on-one all game, he will have 70 points. But he's not one-on-one all game. Like, if he's one-on-one, he could score 70 points if you just put one man on him.
Not in that.
Not a fact.
You let
I feel what you're saying,
guard him one-on-one, he's going to score every damn time. Simple as that. Back in the 90s, you stuck to your man, you fought over screens. It was different. The defenses were different. Now they're okay. You go to the line. You go.
That's what I'm saying with it. We saying he gonna make it to 70 because I don't see James with the. I don't see it. I don't see it either. I'm with that.
Right. Yeah, so I understand your point, B. Lee.
I definitely understand your point, though, and I definitely understand the fact of protecting your
your product. Yeah, but I think two things have happened. And I'll go into it and I'll see what you all think. Okay, so the first thing, we stand here. We stand here. So the first thing, B. Lee, I totally agree that you do have to protect your assets, right? Like, I agree with that. The second thing, okay, so scoring is up, right? I think one of the big criticisms of this game now is it's a jump shooting game. And jump shooting, when you're playing somebody one-on-one, when that person takes 3 straight jump shots in a row, they tired. Their legs ain't there, right? So it looks as if it's softer. If you're playing somebody and you go into the hole, it's been perceived to be more aggressive. So the scoring is up because you do have better shooters. You do have more shooters in the game. All right. So again, and I like referencing my dad because he told me something that I didn't recognize. The whole purpose of the Dream Team was to change the color of the game. I didn't realize it then when my daddy told me. He said, look, they about to get brothers out the game. This was 92. I'm like, what are you talking about? He said, when they go over here to all these countries in this Olympics and they open this game up, they're doing that to take away from these urban kids going to the league, right? So if you look at pre-Dream Team, the majority of the NBA was black, right? They made it a global game. You get more money. More money in the game means more corporate sponsorship. More corporate sponsorship Corporations ain't ran by a lot of black people, right? You might have black people up in corporations, but you don't. So now we have this quote unquote European influx, right? They don't play the same brand of basketball. They're jump shooters. They play finesse game. Look, Tony Kukoc, Arvydas Sabonis, all those dudes was big and they could step out and shoot, right? Now, when we start to look at this, the game is soft because it's gotten a little lighter. And yeah, I'm bringing a racial element into it, but let's just see if we can find a parallel there, right? Like the game now, like you said, Mark, people are talking about Luka Doncic as a top 5 player. Luka Doncic could not have played against Ron Artest. I'm sorry, he's not going far around.
Let's settle it with Marky Mark and B Lee. I'm your host, AG. Subscribe on YouTube, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and Twitter for your great sports debate. We not only chronicle the GOAT debate, MJ or LeBron, but we are talking sports and lots of NBA hoops. Follow us for our weekly show where you can tune in and learn about what's going down in the NBA.